You guys all know that I can't stand semi-equal highs, man. I can't. I can't ignore it. I can't ignore it. I'm not touching this with shorts until you break below 70.9.
Yeah,
And if I get left behind, then so be it, man. I mean, you're sitting here consolidating at range highs.
yeah,
And furthermore, like you now have the potential, you close the daily here. Like, had this daily actually closed just above 71.5, you would have had a daily order block to contend with. That still might hold true. True. So if we push up higher, I'm looking for like 72.3 ish. But
yeah,
more importantly, I'm actually, it's not that I'm ignoring 72.3 to 73K, this area
mm,
right in here, because we know that on the 30 and 45 minute, this right here was, you had a little 15-minute range that kind of sat in here, which encapsulates that 45-minute, 30-minute order block. VWAP snaps in here. It'd be nice to maybe come up and just wipe out these semi-equal highs because this drives me nuts.
yeah,
Just my personal opinion. And then doing something like this,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
or what I would really like to see, what I would really like to see, and this is how it's going to play out too. Like if we come up here, but we don't like do something like this where the range high is back tested. If the range high gets back tested like this and we come up, I'm definitely going to be looking for shorts here. If we start blasting up after consolidating just below this range and we don't back test this area and we leave like some low time frame order block that's kind of sitting here, then what I would really kind of like to see is something like this where you find a slight rejection from that 45-minute order block, retest this, and then rip up to like 73.5, 74K into this 6 hour order block. That's what I would really, really like to see. That's what I would really like to see. But I don't know.
I wouldn't
I
mind that.
mean, I wouldn't mind it either, man. To be honest, I wouldn't mind it either. Yeah, it would fill a lot of the inefficiencies, the fair value gaps that are kind of sitting in here. Like to just do something like this and then boom, mitigate this, get this out of the way, retest the range, and then maybe head a little bit higher. I don't know if it's going to work out exactly like I'm talking, but that would be kind of cool by me, man. That'd be kind of cool by me. I don't know if we can pull any fibs in here, see what we got going on with a Fibonacci pull. Not nothing really. GP's not really coming in anywhere that I would like. 786 isn't, but that's besides the point, man. It's hard to argue. It's hard to ignore that we put in this 6 hour range that's sitting up here, and when we dump, there's nothing as far as any confirmation or back test of
Yeah,
that
there
range
was no
goes.
back
So
test on that. we
yeah,
just we just fell through it. I was watching that hard when it happened. I was just like, Jesus. So
yeah. So I don't know, man. If that doesn't happen, and I'll give the floor to White Phoenix here in about 15 seconds because that's really all I have to say. Today sucked. Today sucked. Um, if this is all we're gonna get, and we leave this garbage here, if we actually leave this garbage and we just deviated and back tested 71.4 and we start dumping down below, I'm really not interested until I see something like this. Whether that's a deeper retracement and then a back test, I want to see something like this, guys. I really do. I want to see something like that. I really don't want to get involved in trying to catch a knife here. I just don't. I already got burned today. I'm done getting burned. So I'm gonna play it a little bit safe. Like some of these time frames, like the daily on the oscillators. Let me show you what it looks like on the oscillators, guys. Yeah, you're kind of holding VWAP right now. Daily is kind of coming up here a little bit. 6 hour looks like it wants to roll, but so did the four. The four actually closed and confirmed See this? This is where you had your 4-hour close. This next 4-hour candle actually back tested 79 and it was curved over. Now look what happened. That's what took me out right there. Look what happened. So I'm done with it, man. I'm done with it. Like it could do anything it wanted right now and that would make me happy. I don't even need to be in a trade. Just get me out of here. I can't stand this anymore. So that's it. That's all I got. I'll give the floor to White Phoenix.
Spartan, are you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording.
People say they can't see the video for some reason. Again, I don't know what's going on.
Guys, what I had to do, I had to go to. I'm using the desktop version of it. I'm actually signed into the web browser discord.com and streaming from there versus using the app. The app was giving me issues. So,
The app
Well, let me know if
sucks,
you
man.
can
I
see
never have any issues with Discord.
cuz
It's pretty
either.
rare.
you're the coolest.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Apparently, Omar is pretty cool too, because he don't have any issues as well.
Yeah, you guys are all cool.
Yeah.
You're good, WP. We can see you.
So yeah, that's all right. Okay. Yeah, so we didn't really do a whole lot since last night. I mean, we came up, we slept out Monday's high. You guys know I was watching for Monday's high. I had mentioned that yesterday. To be honest though, and I said we might not actually have the strength to like mitigate the order block, but any sweep of Monday's high was a short for me. I took it right away. My wife woke me up. She said, "Your trading view is making a lot of sounds," and I literally like I shorted like right here and went right to sleep, bro. I didn't wait for structure. I didn't wait for nothing. I seen that 50-minute candle close. It was like 10-minute candle close the way that it did, and I just went short and went right back to bed. I wasn't sure if I got stopped or not when I woke up, but luckily I didn't. And I took out half here. I told everybody when I took half out basically because that was the low that we took at the time was the last session London low. So as I seen that, these are quite reactive. These London highs and London lows, like you usually get something off it. Maybe not a big something. Like for example here, that's a sweep of a high. You came down a little bit. Sometimes you sweep a low and it's a massive reaction. So I always watch all these session highs and lows. And I seen it. I seen that was the anchor VWAPs from the low all the way up. We talked about that yesterday on stream as well, and that was a key area. If price wanted to come back from Monday's low, it had to break these anchor VWAPs and structure at the same time. As Thor had mentioned, because this high was never taken again, this does not constitute as a valid market structure flip. So realistically, on the 15-minute time frame, your structure, in my opinion, didn't break. It's more or less an SFP. So you basically have this. Like the way that I would draw structure here, in fact, I can just click one button and save myself the hassle. My friend's indicator will draw for me. Yeah, it's not, it's calling it internal break right there. So realistically, the way that I would draw it though, because it didn't draw it as I thought it would, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. This is not two consecutive bearish candles in a row, so I'd have to go to here, and then I have an SFP, which means this is now a weak targeted high. That's what I see. Which is, that was a big deal breaker for me. Once I seen that SFP, now don't get me wrong, obviously that could have been a long zone, but I wasn't really in the mood to trade this. I tried one long, I'm not going to lie, I did try one, but then I came out and took me back at break even, and I said enough's enough. I'm not playing this game of Bitcoin. I'll wait for better confirmations and a more legible area to trade from. This isn't it. So, as Thor had already mentioned, well, first of all, I want to mention this was my original range high. This was my range low. I'm going to adjust my new high up to the previous day high. So I'll make that quick adjustment. And I think I already did that actually. Yes, I already did that. We're good. So basically, this is my new range, right? And I'm watching for a deviation above, a deviation below. I think if we deviate that high one more time, we could see a model one distribution, right? Because now you have one tap here, two taps, and then you have this juicy looking order block that's remaining here. So perhaps we see this. If it's during Asia, I think there's a really strong chance of a rejection. If it's during London, they could wick out the order block. If it's during New York, I still think there's a strong chance of rejection there. London likes to do crazy things, and Asia just doesn't know how to actually break a range. So Asia does not know how to break a high time frame range very often. So if we do make our way up to here and we see any kind of rejection, I would just short it. To be honest, I would just short it because you're probably going to win. And I do it all the time. And listen, very rarely do I lose those big range breaks from Asia because again, they don't have the balls to break a range like that. So, long story short, at the moment, I'm looking for a move up into this high, basically, and that's it. I mean, really, that's pretty much all I'm looking for right now, unless we start breaking below these lows here. If we do start breaking below, I'm already swing short in 4 different shorts, by the way. I told you guys that like many times in my channel. But if we start doing something like this, where we, lose the anchor VWAPs, we lose this structure, which also breaks this structure better. This SFP is no longer an SFP. We start breaking below it. We get some kind of a bearish back test like this. Well, then I'll look for a short all the way down towards the range low and probably lower.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, that's an easy trade. That's just these both would be easy trades if you get a reaction. Get a reaction up here, short it. Get a reaction after breaking down. But that's a short. Obviously, any lower high that you see, if it starts nuking, you look to short that. But right here, right now, with these ugly highs and these ugly highs, and sometimes Bitcoin won't come back for them. We all know that. We learned that at the 97K range. It left a bazillion equal highs. Did it come back for them? Nope. It just kept nuking. That's possible. But here's the thing, right? You got to be able to weigh pros and cons. Should I take the trade with a million equal highs? Probably not. Does it hurt to get in a little lower? No, because then you have confirmation, right? Whereas you're kind of like playing Russian roulette to get in with those highs here. I don't want any. I'm not playing Russian
Yeah,
roulette. No way.
dude, it's like betting on black or red, man. It
I know.
sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I know.
Can
So
I
at the
add to
moment,
that real quick, White Phoenix?
yeah, yeah,
Since I don't forget that 45-minute order block that you're talking about, like if you come up there and you have a legitimate reason to get short, like you got confirmations to get short there, even if it does come back down to like the range high, you still have about 1% on leverage. That is more than enough reason to get short at like 72.3. More than enough reason. Because even if you bounce from range high, you're going to have a locked in like short position. It's a no harm, no foul. It's a
yeah,
win-win.
yeah. Exactly. Just de-risk it ASAP.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. That's exactly how I take that trade because there are more reasons this distribution could ultimately fail, and we kind of come up to a better zone like 73.6 or 74K. There's still more supply up there as you mentioned earlier. So it could just be like a temporary rejection kind of thing where it ends up holding that OB that you were talking about, that daily order block that could be created along the way. Maybe you do something like this, it comes down a little bit, you get a nice little $1,000 move out of it, and then it comes up higher to the next zone. So you have to be mindful of that. We already knew that there's more zones that Bitcoin could mitigate, so we have to keep that in mind and de-risk accordingly. Now that being said, from a more local perspective, I haven't really been in and out scalp. I know it sounds funny for me, but I haven't been in and out scalping as much on Bitcoin. I've been trading more future scalping lately, like ES, NQ, gold, oil. And I'll be honest, I think the reason why I'm more drawn to that is because it's more volatile than Bitcoin has been lately on the lower time frames, way more volatile. And it's been more challenging than Bitcoin. I'll be honest, guys, it's way harder than Bitcoin lately ever since the war broke out. And I think it's because like there's always a headline that'll just cause like a huge candle on like a 1 minute candle. Like, you have all the TA in the world that suggests the stock market should go down, but then this massive dildo just smacks you in the face. you know, it just
What's
comes out of
up with you
nowhere.
today, bro?
I don't know. It's like twice I said that. Um, at the moment, it looks like price is trying to reaccumulate. I will say that, but it is trying to hold VU up in the open as well. That doesn't mean it's going to be a banger long trade. It does look like it's trying to become a long trade here. It's just not moving. Like we're not. It's literally frozen in time right now. We're moving by the penny. Actually, we're not moving at all. Is my chart broken?
No, your
Oh,
Nope.
chart
there we
looks
go.
good.
It's not broken. It's
Wow.
Bitcoin's broken.
Damn, bro. Let me check the Asia Open real quick. Yeah, what did we only moved up like $200 on this, bro. That's crazy. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen an Asia
Dude, this
Open.
is where people get chopped up, man.
Yeah, man.
I haven't seen this in a long time. I think the last time I've seen an Asia Open, you're already like 45 minutes into the Open with a $200 price movement, aka a 0.3% move in this case. Man, that would have been like, it had to be 2022. It had to be when we were like, all the volatility died off. No one wanted to trade Bitcoin anymore. You know, it was that's basically the last time I remember that. Meanwhile, look at this. So if I go over to the NASDAQ chart, here's the NASDAQ Open. Look at this, straight up.
Yeah, that's nuts.
NASDAQ just went up more than Bitcoin did from a percentage standpoint,
Trump could
0.38%.
sneeze and the price will go up or down.
That's crazy, bro. Bitcoin's like, nah, I don't have the balls to go higher, but NASDAQ just gigapumped there. It's kind of funny, actually. So, yeah, I mean, it's trying to round off. It could be a long here right now, but I mean, just because it's how laggy it is, like, if I was taking a long on that, I mean, I guess I'd have to cover that. You could take a riskier long and cover a more very, very local low, and then you could try something like that, maybe up towards the highs again. But that depends on if you want to trade this crap. I'm not taking that trade. Okay, I'm not. It might be a good trade. It doesn't look like a bad trade. I just don't want to take it myself. We could also come back and mitigate this failed little distribution here. You got a little tiny distribution internally that failed. It could come back and kind of mitigate this little range right here. Maybe that's what we need to kind of get the juice to pump up. Maybe something like that, and you could reclaim the VWAP, reclaim the open. You could look for a long if you actually see volatility kick in. And I would only long it in that case if it actually broke back above the open in the VWAP. I wouldn't touch it down. I wouldn't touch it down here. I don't need a bottom hunt. And I would do something like that in my stop loss, and then I would target up towards the previous day high, and then look for shorts from there. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I definitely not shorting here. There's no way I'm shorting it again here because it just isn't really a short zone. Like I said, guys, I'll wait. I'm already in 4 shorts. They're all like top tier entries from like 75K plus, basically. You know, I got them all around the same time. So, if I'm going to take a new trade right now, it's going to have to be for short. Either A, we come up into that order block or that other zone that we talked about. I'm on the wrong chart here, I think. Yeah, I'm on the wrong chart. It's going to have to come into the order block up here at 72.1-ish to 72.5 or that other zone, 73.6, 74.3. Somewhere's in those two areas of price would be ideal. Or, as I mentioned earlier, it's going to have to break down very clearly, you know, break down very clearly. And I want to see failure. I want to see this make a lower high. I want to see another lower low come in. I want to see these anchor VWAPs fail. Maybe I'll scale in if it breaks the current Asia low and gives me a double break, showing that this zone is no longer working. Then what I would therefore do is maybe I'll be interested in a RIMC short. So if price comes up to initiate the range, I'll try to short it. Excuse me, got a cough. I'll try to short it on that mitigation for the continuation down. But I'll de-risk it right away because we could just easily put in a higher low on those anchor VWAPs, and noting that this was a previous accumulation model and you have an OB right here. I can tell you that's an order block without even checking to see if it's an order block because of the way that range looks. Let's check the 5. And it's more like a 10-minute block, I would imagine. Yeah, there you go. 10-minute OB right there. So you have a 10-minute OB right there. It might be a 15. There you go. It's a 15 as well. Be careful of that 15-minute block because that's right inside your anchor VWAPs that we've been holding constantly. And that could be your next long as well. So if we actually do hold that 15-minute OB and you see something that you like there and we haven't taken out the ugly highs, there's your next potential long trade. I would look for a long coming out of that zone. I don't think I'd want it like lingering in that zone. I'd want to see it happen very quickly. Okay, it's starting to move up a little bit now. I'd want to see it happen pretty quickly, but like a quick move in and a quick move out ideally because you already had an accumulation here. You already had 1, you had 2, oops, you had your 3. There's no reason to really have to like do that all over again, in my opinion. It should just be like a quick market structure flip coming out of the zone, and that's your entry. If I see that, I'll give it a try for a long, and I'll target previous day high. But apart from that, I mean, the entry that I mentioned a minute ago where I said, you know, you could just try a long here with a pretty tight stop loss here or cover down here a little bit more. It is trying to work, but again, this is way too volumeless for me. Like, look at that. Oh my God, there you go. It just reversed already. Like 30 seconds, bro. Or not even. Like 5-second candle just reversed that thing. Look at this shit. Can't even make this up. It's a 5-second
Touching on
candle.
range highs, man.
Look at that. 5 second sell off candle. This is what I mean. This is not worth trading. For me, this is not worth trading because I know the moment that I enter with size, I'm going to have the biggest painted target on my back, and they're just going to run for me. Like, there's no way. Like, and I know I'm not saying me in particularly. I mean, like anybody that's trading any kind of size, you're going to get hunted with this kind of volume. Absolutely, you're going to get stop hunted with this kind of volume. So I'm not playing that game. I'm just going to wait for something better, and I'll wait to catch an actual volume trade. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all that I think I wanted to talk about. Besides, um, I think I mentioned this already, but I'll say it again. If we start closing below here, this line, which is 75.23, I think, despite there being order blocks along the way, I think we're going to get a full range rotation down towards Monday's low. So you start closing below there, maybe like a 1 hour plus close. Here's your aggression below that line. I'm just trying to visualize it here. You guys can see that. If we see that, then I will look for obviously any shorts on any chance I can get my hands on, as mentioned, because I'm targeting Monday's low and probably lower than that. But for now, I mean, we're not even doing anything, so it's hard to. Man, I can't believe it was this boring. Like I didn't check the charts before I when I was stuck in traffic there. I didn't check the chart. I figured. I mean, I looked at the price. I seen the price was kind of like familiar. I just didn't realize that the trades were this bad over the last few hours. I'm glad I didn't waste my time sitting here because I only see one trade that I would have taken. The only trade that I think I would have tried, and I'll be honest, even that one I would not have done a 1% risk.
No,
But
lie to me.
right here, that's the only one I would have tried was right here. Lie to you.
You said I'll be honest. I said no, just lie to me.
Okay, I'll lie to you. 100%
Alright.
risk? No, I'm kidding. I no, this is the only trade, bro. This is it. Like this is the only trade that I see, and the only reason I would have taken that is because I would have seen this as a distribution turning into an accumulation last minute. So I see the 3 taps this way, although again it's nasty looking. 1, 2, 3, kind of looks like a head and shoulders, and then you have the 1, the 2, and then your 3 basically right here. So I can see it kind of like curling up this way at the end. So I would have tried that on the structure flip there, and it was a nice little trade actually. It was like a 5%. You know, if you risked 1%, you could have made 5% if you timed the top of that wick. Nobody would time the top of the wick, but you could have made let's say 3%, 2.5% on a scalp like that, which isn't bad for a quick trade that you're in for I don't know like 15 minutes or so. But that's pretty much it. Now it's nuking. Show's
Asia
over,
just
folks.
tapped into range highs.
Yeah, they just nuked it. That's what I'm saying. Like this didn't look good enough for me to try it, even though it was trying to hold the open. I don't like when Asia tries to hold the open. They do it sometimes where they do that, where they'll hold it like in slow motion and then it'll just giga bounce out of nowhere. I've seen it before. It's just not as common to see. That's why I'm like, you know what? It could be a trade, but I'm not taking that as a trade. There's no way I'm taking it personally as a trade.
Nah.
Um, I would have, not good enough for me. I think Trump is supposed to talk. I heard that, but I don't know what time. That maybe I'm hearing
I
incorrectly, but I
wish
thought
you just shut up.
yeah, me too. Tell me about it, bro.
Bro, they're making some money. Did you see all the trades that came in like 10 minutes before his tweet came out?
Bro, I literally was like, Boyan talked about it in his channel, and I made a comment on it. I'm like, yeah, Trump. What did I say? Something like Trump and his goons are basically all short before this move. You watch shorting oil or something,
Shorting
and
oil, long in the SPX.
bro, they actually did. Like 15 minutes before, or 10 minutes
Yeah,
before, they just
yeah, I
got in
know.
like boom.
I know. Is Trump's.
Why so bearish? What the bullish case?
We're going to 300K Saturday, 1 p.m.
I'll give you a bullish case. I'll give you a bullish case.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass it over to you because I don't have a bullish case.
Okay. Well, I don't necessarily have a bullish case, but I have some hopium for you if that's what you're looking for.
Hopium. We all need a little bit of
Some
hopium.
hopium. I will say this, man. Let me pull this up real quick.
Sandlot loves when I talk bearish to him. I can see him typing already.
Why so bearish?
Nah,
What's the bullish case, man? Look, There really isn't any a bullish case. Like if I go out to the daily time frame, this is your daily structure. That's your low, there's your lower high, your lower low. All right? That's it. Like in order to be bullish, then you need to start taking out 98K. And this is something that me and White Phoenix have been preaching for a long time now. This whole move down looks exactly like 2021. Again, you had your bear flag within the range, bear flag within the range. You broke the range lows. Let me show you this one more time. You broke the range lows. That was your overall range in 2021. All right. You broke range lows down here. Let me go back to the daily time frame or even 2-day time frame. And you did the same exact thing as what we're doing now. You put in another bear flag, you retested the range lows. I'm not getting rid of this, so bear with the numbers. You're putting in a bear flag, you just retested the range low.
Yeah.
However, here's some hopium for you. Here's some hopium for you. Technically speaking, this local trend on the daily is still putting in higher highs and higher lows. So when I zoom in here, what I'm talking about is this. Here's your low, your higher low, or your higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This could either be your higher low and we can come up more, or this is just going to break and it's going to become a lower low all of a sudden, and then we're going to sink down. And there's your bear flag. And then we're going to be talking about numbers well below 60K.
Is that the hopium?
Well, your hopium is that if I'm wrong, then this is going to produce another higher high. We're probably going to break into this range. And then maybe, just maybe, we can start talking about 80s or even mid 80s. Because if I was to highlight this, just even from a 2-day or daily perspective, that was your overall range. And to
Yeah.
boot, and to boot, if I was to pull a volume profile, I know that's a pretty solid range that I just pointed out, but let's confirm it with a volume profile. You guys can see for yourself, this is where volume pours in. So if this was to continue up, this is definitely going to be the place that we're going to be looking at. All right. It's definitely going to be a place that we're looking at, which puts you around mid 80s, like I said. So I guess that's your hopium. You're still putting in higher highs and higher lows locally, but it's still a downtrend. It's still an
Right.
overall downtrend.
Absolutely. I would be astonished, completely flabbergasted if we made it up there. I would be.
I would
I will
too.
do a
I
cartwheel.
would too.
I'll do a handstand while eating pancakes on stream, and I'll do a face
You know this is being recorded, right?
reveal if we make
Like,
it up there.
you know everything that I
There you
just
go.
said was
Yeah, I
on
don't give a
point
shit.
and
I will.
accurate.
Listen, my wife said she'll videotape it.
All right. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm not saying that because I totally agree with you, but technically speaking, that's what you have right now.
The only problem is I don't think I can do a handstand, but I'll eat pancakes on a stream. How about that?
Okay. Pancakes on
Easy.
What? Why? Why
I don't know.
pancakes?
I just the first thing that came to mind, bro. I have no idea.
Like, without the handstand, the pancakes are useless. You might as well just eat like poutine or something.
I'll have to like go against the wall. I'll make it look like I'm doing a handstand.
Right?
Do a fake handstand.
Is that
Maple
your
syrup.
hopium?
Listen, I will
I
make
know, man.
maple
Like
syrup from
I'm
scratch on a
trying here. I'm
stream.
trying to
You,
give the guy a reasonable answer. Like what's the bullish scenario? I suppose that would be your bullish scenario. But do I
Yeah.
think it's going to play out that way? I'm going to say it's highly unlikely because look, man, Bitcoin has done dumber stuff, okay? It's done dumber stuff. Like
no.
this White Phoenix said it best, like, fractals play out until they don't play out. Patterns play out until they don't play out. I don't know. I don't know what kind of answer to give you, but
Just Just remember,
There's your bullish scenario.
the markets can stay irrational way longer than most of you guys can stay solvent. So if you don't know what the F is going on, just hang out. Wait for something better to happen. I think Phoenix showed it best. He was showing how we've been acting the last couple hours. It's like, why do you even want to get into a trade? Like, for what? Just sit around? Like,
Spartan, you're more than welcome to share your screen if you have anything to add. It's already 9 p.m.
maybe. I don't know. Let me see. Entire screen. I haven't. We'll do this. Can you guys still hear me? See me?
Dude, it would be kind of cool to see 80, mid 80s, just to see, White Phoenix
It would.
eat some pancakes on live stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Listen, I
would be
won't
kind of
even. I'll even listen. I'll even tap my own maple tree, and I'll create my own maple syrup on the stream
That's
and
awesome.
Okay.
eat the
All
pancakes
right.
if it happens.
That's awesome. All right.
That's gonna be wild if that actually happens. I
You know,
agree
I'm
with
gonna
you.
be pissed. Oh, that's gonna suck. Okay, it's gonna take forever.
Honestly, like how I'm looking at things right now, after because Monday we got a nice bounce off of the high volume node and the POC. So you can see the high volume node is off of this big anchor volume profile. This big anchored volume profile is based upon all the price action from where we are today, pulled all the way back to this range, so right around here. All right, so that's giving me all of this information. So we had a big high volume node right underneath this smaller point of control, which is off of this pool. So from this candle over here all the way to the right, that's what this volume pool is. And we kind of clustered around in that area. So when we came down, like that was perfect. Like it lined up perfectly with the news. So that was a nice move. You can see this gray box that I have highlighted in here. This gray box was a pretty important area just because it's been getting so much action the past few weeks within this range. And all this gray box is where the POC first started developing. So between these two little nodes on here, and you can see based upon the developing POC where it's shifting here, that was a point like within this range, the POC was here, then it got shifted down to here, shifted down here, and finally it ended up there. So I noticed like, hey, we're finding action. Our first rejection was off of the top of that. All right. And then when we came down, we found clear resistance right here at that. So I was like, all right, that area is important. So I've had this drawn on my chart for like the last month and a half. And every time we get into it, it gets some type of respect. So going from this node, the first place that I was looking at was the more local volume node right above us. Once we got from there, I wanted to see some type of retest. As you can see, like it looks like we ended up blasting through it first, then coming back down for the retest, and that's at about 68,940. So that was a pretty solid move. As you guys can see now, what we're doing is just hanging out on the top of this volume node right here. We're consolidating. Sorry, I'm moving that. We're consolidating literally right on the top. But I find this, it's a volume node, but look how clear of a support and resistance it's been throughout this range. All right, all these areas, you're getting pretty nice taps. You're getting resistance around these areas. So us coming up and now testing it, I think that's pretty good news. What I would hate to see, you know, would be us breaking underneath this and then retesting it, because then the next logical spot, you guys see it, once we come into the quicksand, yeah, we might pop out, but eventually we come back down. We come back down to the bottom of it. So if we get that retest, we could have a move all the way back down to, I would say, around 68, 9-ish. But then we start coming up to these lows. There's liquidity there. We could start knocking those out very easily. So as long as we stay above this, let me see, this 76, 70.6 this area, 70.8, 70.4, all around here. I think that's not a bad look for what we're doing right now. Like Thor said, and like White Phoenix said, what we've all been saying since freaking October, we're in a downtrend. We're in a massive daily, weekly downtrend. But we are having a consolidation and having some type of higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. You know, we are in a local uptrend within the more massive downtrend. So I don't know, man. Like I don't really know. I'm kind of, in my opinion, I'm not in a tradable area. The next tradable areas I have are 73.8ish, so right around here. All right, which is within that order block, that demand, that range, whatever you guys want to call it. We got a high volume node there. I believe that's also the POC of this range up here. I could be wrong because it does have more volume included in here, not just this range. But I think this area could be a pretty nice area to come up to. But that's kind of far away, you know? That's why I'm kind of sitting back. Like, the trade was either the retest of this, which also dipped into this little range down here. That happened yesterday morning. Or this little retest right here. But even here, that's kind of stupid. You know, that's right after a sweep of this high. I probably wouldn't have long that right there. But, you know, there is a clear reason why we are finding support there. There is a clear reason we do have volume at that area. And I just like I play anything else, I'm looking for a break and a retest. Same thing if we come under, break and a retest. All right. And I'll do that going both ways. Doesn't really matter. Like if I notice that we come up here, we do one of these. Yeah, that's easy for a short. We do one of those, that's easy for a short for me. You know, so I'm looking at 73.8, and then below us we got 68.9, and then underneath that would be the high volume node again at 67.4. Other than that, I really don't see much else. You know, we do have imbalance right here. You guys can clearly see that leading up to this HVN. We do have imbalance up there. I don't like these highs. These highs kind of suck. Like, I don't like how, you know, you guys could see how each time we kind of do that, they end up getting wrecked. So these highs don't really look nice. I would like to see a proper tap of this area up here. You know, actually break through it. We did reject off of this 12-hour order block. We did this on stream, but we also had a high volume node at that area, which was at, you guys can see it right here. All right, you had that high volume node right at 76. We kind of front ran it. Um, but you know, I would like to see that get swept. That would be a nice area for me. I've given you my synopsis of this. I've told you this is a huge imbalance. A lot of times these imbalances get filled, or they at least maybe not filled with volume, so this won't turn into a perfectly distributed volume profile. But a lot of times you get play within this area. I think that's probably the most bullish case, is that we come back up to this high volume node at 96. I don't see that happening right now until we start reclaiming some of these volume levels in here. But I'm not turning super bearish until we break underneath 67.4 and we retest it. Like, until we do one of these, I'm not getting bearish because we're above this high volume node. We're within an area of imbalance. You know, there's a lot of trading to be done at these higher levels that the market didn't give us time to trade at. We moved very fast from this range up here down. So I think if we do start, you know, slowly chugging up, you could see us probably start traversing this area, looking at areas like 78, 80K, maybe getting the support and resistance flip. I do believe that lower is in store. I just don't think the market's ready for it yet. I don't think there's enough people in the market that are thinking we're going to all-time highs yet and pouring money back into Bitcoin where they're just going to yoke it on us, you know. Um, But again, guys, my trading is going level by level. All right, there's no need for me to think that we're going up to 80K right now. If we're sitting at 71, I'm just looking more locally. Like I said, what I'm looking at, shoot, man, maybe a sweep of these highs back into 70.4. We could have that, maybe another tap into there. I don't like how it's already been tested. A lot of times when these areas get tested, especially when there were POCs or areas of high volume, the liquidity's gone. You know what? Everyone put those orders on that first retest, and now if you come back down, there's not going to be orders to really give you a bounce. But I will keep an eye, like say if we do one of these things, and I'm on the 8 hour time frame, so I know it looks a lot different from what you guys are used to. But say we come down here and you see us do one of these things. I'll long that. I'll long that for sure. We sweep these lows, come back above it and retest it. That I think that would be a solid trade. You could even, if you're taking it from this retest of the high volume node, you could either take it to this high or this high. Keep your stop relatively close. You got to really look at it depending on how market structure forms. There's not just a one size fit all position. Um, but yeah, and I told you the converse of that. Like if we get a, I'm not. If we dip into this, I'm not longing until we get a clear retest of that because I completely understand we can get this. Completely understand, and the same thing goes, man. If say it's that perfect little thing where we get like a sweep, and then we get some like little market structure. I don't know why I can't draw, I can't doodle as well as you guys, for whatever reason. So if we do something like this, we come up, break, and then I'll I'll take that. I'll take that. I don't mind, you know. But right now where we're at, I don't really think there's a trade within here that I'm willing to kind of get into, you know. I don't know. That's just, and I don't like this. I really don't like this short wise, you know, because that's still very easy to take. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty good. So
Right on, dude.
I appreciate you, big dog. Are you guys counting how many times? Okay.
No.
All right. I feel like I like give my heart out and then I'll look at the chat and you guys are just clowning me the whole time. I'm just like, bro.
Nobody clowning on you.
Yeah. But other than that, man, that's really where I'm at. I don't know. That's all I got.
That's all I got too, man. I'm kind of hoping that something changes. I'm kind of hoping that non-American sniper wakes up and does something cool, so
Who's
that I don't have to talk about the same crap like come tomorrow morning.
Don't worry,
yeah.
Donald Trump will save the day with another announcement, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Dude, we're like the market's gonna be boring until Saturday when the ceasefire ends.
Bro, there's ceasefire? I didn't even know there was one. I thought there
Yeah,
wasn't.
Yeah.
a
There's
five
supposed to be a ceasefire,
a 5 day
except they're still
ceasefire.
firing on everybody.
Yeah, yeah, but we're not
Are you
attacking.
serious?
Yeah, we're not attacking their power plants. So
Ha!
yeah,
Really?
yeah, it's gonna get fun. It's gonna get fun, man. And to think,
Crazy
Soon,
shit.
boys. Soon.
I had a bunch of
Yeah.
guys at my school, like a bunch of kids, and they're like, "Mister, what should I do?" And they weren't very good students, and I'm like, "Man, you should join the Marines." Damn, that's horrible advice. And there's like 3 or 4 that did, so I'm praying with them. I don't know. They said they're gonna put like 3,000 boots on the ground. So
Bro, there's no way. Bro, this Donald Trump's going to take the most advantage of this as he can. Him and his rich buddies are going to milk these announcements all the time until like just like the tariff thing. Oh, they're on. Oh, they're off. Oh, they're on. Oh, they're off. I swear he has people, bro. They're
Bro,
all making bazillions off that shit every single time he makes a post.
he
He
made.
knows exactly what he's doing.
Remember when he called the bottom on the S&P? He was like, "This is a good time to buy," and then all of a sudden we just started shooting up. It was just like, "Are you
Yeah,
serious?"
that's crazy shit, bro.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what, man?
I mean, he's already what, like 80 years old, so I guess he's just like, fuck it, you know?
Yeah, he's like, "I'm about to die." Nancy, if
Yeah,
Nancy P can do it, why can't I?
yeah.
No.
Crazy, bro. Crazy. Ever since he came around, though, man, I'm telling you, trading as a whole, I don't care what anybody says, trading definitely became way harder. Way harder. You
Yeah,
know?
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'd agree to that.
But he's been around for the last 10 years, man. So,
Yeah, no, I mean, like, since he took office, not the first time. I don't think it really mattered
not
to me till
No,
like the
I
second.
it
remember a
was
lot
great
of
the first
people.
time.
I remember a
Everything
lot
up.
of people bitching about it because they were like, he says one thing, all of a sudden the market's doing crazy shit.
Yeah, I
And
think
we
he's
had
just lost
COVID.
the marbles. He's like, oh, I'm on my way out, so I'm just gonna make all my friends and family rich now. So that's what I feel like half the time. That's what I think, but um,
Generational wealth, bro.
the other half the time, I'm just wondering if this guy's for real. I think poor Boyan. I wonder what goes through his head sometimes with the posts he makes, bro. Trump cracks me up. He cracks me up, bro. He's like the way he talks.
Yeah.
Every time Trump has something to say, he's just like, "Oh man," I could just imagine his frustration sometimes. It's so funny.
Yeah. But you got to admit, it's kind. Did you see what he said to the Japan lady?
Who did?
Trump.
Yeah, World War II.
Bro, look at this. All right, I'm gonna play this real quick, and then freaking
Yeah,
we
I
can
haven't
sign
seen
off.
it, so
Bro, wait. Let's see if I can find it.
Easy killer because you're
Trump.
OBSing. You're gonna upload this to YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna take us off of
Why don't you
OBS.
just send him a link?
No, because we need to show everybody and enjoy this. All right, guys, love y'all.